guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Simone. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for joining me. If you are new here, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. In today's video, I'm gonna start off by reading a quote that I stumbled upon, I think on the internet. And whenever I find quotes that really speak to me, I try to do a screenshot or I'll type it. If it's something that I heard, I'll type it in my notes. And I'm always analyzing things, so I'll always go back and look at the quotes, do a deep dive into the true meaning and how it relates to my life. And so I found this quote and I think it was very, very profound. It says, "Some people die at 25 and aren't buried until they're 75. Now think about that for a moment. Take 1 second to really think about why it is that a lot of us essentially die, not a physical death, but a mental, a spiritual, a psychological death. Why do we have that at the age of 25? Think about yourself. Think about where you were and what you were doing at the age of 25. And if you aren't at 25 yet, if you're younger and you haven't gotten to the age of 25, just think about a time in your life where you felt like that was your peak. Your life was on track, things were going well, you were having fun, making great memories, and just enjoying life to the maximum. Think about that time. Are you still at that peak? Are you still enjoying life? Are you actively pursuing happiness? If you are not, then you are like a lot of us. We lose our zest for life at some point in or journey. If you're at a point in your life where you feel like you've passed your peak, I want to tell you that you're not alone. And I also want to tell you that you don't necessarily have to stay in the valley. I truly believe that if there is life, there is hope. I think about myself and I think about where I was at the age of 25. And I was at a great place in my life. I definitely had a zest for life. I want us to share this experience together to really dig ourselves out of this valley that we found ourselves in. I believe that there can be several peaks in our life. And just because we were at a peak at 25 doesn't mean that we can't be at a peak at 30 or 35 or 40 or whatever it is. So I just want to talk about the things that got us to a point where we reached the peak and now we've sort of found ourselves in a valley, in a place where we are not our best, we are not our happiest, we are not just the best versions of ourselves. I think one of those experiences is heartbreak. A lot of us have gone through heartbreak at some point or the other. I know for one that I've definitely gone through heartbreak. Along the way, there are several heartbreaks, and they don't necessarily have to be linked to a romantic partner. Other heartbreaks that you can go through are like the death of a family member, or someone struggling with maintaining their health, or even you having health issues. Other things that we go through in life include failures, include disappointments, include rejections, all the things that kind of knock us off our feet, like we lose our footing, we lose our ground, and sometimes we never really recover, we never bounce back. It's very sad, but it's just like you're tainted for life. And so we find ourselves in a state of regression. We find ourselves in a state of stagnation. We lose our zest for life. We are no longer actively pursuing happiness. Happiness isn't a destination. It is something that we have to continue to pursue. There are times when we're gonna be in a funk. Life isn't without incident. Things are gonna happen, but the key is to not remain in that state. The result of going through all those experiences that sort of throw us off our track is that we start to settle, we start to bury our dreams. Someone once said that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because there are so many dreams that are buried with people who never see their dream come to fruition. And so one of the side effects of going through, the ills of life is that we start to bury our dreams. We start to fall into a routine. The fun in our life is completely sucked out. We're no longer spontaneous. It's like we've become so mundane. We are just going through the motion. There are no ebbs and flows. It's just one flat line. We're just going through life as is, not seeking out the best parts of life. So today, I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to challenge you to think about a time in your life, whether it's 25, 30, 35, whatever period of your life it was that you were at your peak. Really do a deep reflection on that period in your life and think about the things that truly made you happy. And if times have changed so much that the things that made you happy in your peak no longer make you happy, then really do some reflection on what makes you happy now. And I'm challenging you to really go out and pursue happiness. Think about all the dreams that you had. Think about the bucket list that you created. Think about all the experiences that you wanted to have. You can still have all of those things. It doesn't matter where you are in life, you can still accomplish your dreams. My tip for you is don't be passive in life. Make sure that you are actively living. Don't wait for things to fall in your lap. Go out and seek opportunities. And my most important tip is, as you go along life's journey, make sure that you capture memories. Capture memories so you can go back and be inspired by your life. Be inspired by the experience that you have and build upon that. I know for me, I love music. I really, really do love music. And I feel like the music that I love is in a time capsule. Every now and then I'll hear a song that I like, but the majority of the music that I truly love are from the days that I was in my teenage years and my early 20s, like a treasured time capsule that I can always go back. And whenever I listen to music from that era, I feel youthful, I feel young, I feel alive, I feel happy, I feel joy, I feel all these positive emotions. So that's one way that I'm able to harness my memories, to harness that period of my life where I felt like I was in my peak. And another way that I remind myself of the memories that I had that made me truly happy is by going through albums. I used to create albums. I no longer do, but I try to save my my pictures in a way that I can always go back and look at my memories or the memories that I created. But that invigorates me, going back and seeing the places that I went with my family, seeing the things that we did. It really inspires me to go out and do more of those things. I am a homebody. I love my home, and that is why I try to make sure that my home is a sanctuary. I make sure that my home is comfortable. I make sure that when I come home from a long day, I'm at peace because my home is my sanctuary. But I do love to travel. I do love to see new places. I do love to see new cultures. I love to see how other people live. And it's so funny because you can literally go from one city to the next and the culture is different. And I know, like, I live outside of New York City, but I used to live in New York City. A lot of the things, like my church, the kids' barber, like there are a lot of things that are in the Bronx. I love the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. If you're from the Bronx, shout out to you. But I love the Bronx. I used to live in the Bronx. I no longer do. But every single time I go back to the Bronx, I immerse myself in my culture. In the Bronx is where we get our hair cut. In the Bronx is where we go to church. In the Bronx is where we can go to all these stores where I find all my Jamaican snacks, all my Jamaican food. I mean, I love where I live now. And the reason why we moved is because I wanted more space for my family. My kids are growing up. I wanted tranquility also. It's a stark difference when you leave the city and you go in the suburbs. Just the rhythm is completely different. It's much quieter. You don't hear ambulances all the time. You don't hear fire trucks all the time. There's a reason why they say New York City is the city that never sleeps, because there are always sounds outside, and when you move out of the city, it's a very different experience. However, I do love to go back to, you know, the place where I grew up. I love going there. I love seeing my people. I love seeing my culture on full display. And so go back to the places that make you happy. Harness those experiences, harness those emotions, and have them inspire you to do more of the things that make you happy. So just to wrap up, think about your peak. Think about the things that you were doing at your peak. Think about the memories that you created. Think about how they made you feel. Think about where you are at now. Are you still at your peak? If not, then you need to actively seek to get to another peak in your life. If those memories no longer serve you, if those things that you used to do no longer make you happy, then create new memories. I truly believe that being happy is an active pursuit. You truly have to reach out. You truly have to put the work in. You cannot sit passively and think that happiness is just gonna fall into your lap. You really have to put in the work. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and comment down below. Let us know, let me know, what are some of the things that you try to do to invigorate your life. Leave those comments down below, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below as well. Again, thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. And I know a lot of you came over from the Wise family, so thank you for joining me. And shout out to the Wise family. I am wishing you peace, love, and joy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engage and use on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya.